It's one small step for man. It's one giant leap for Revell.
Hello and welcome my dear screen modelers, my name is Tomo and you're watching my small hobby YouTube channel. In today's video we're gonna be reviewing some space stuff. Oh yeah. More specifically Revell space stuff. This year marks the 50th anniversary of the lunar landings. Oh yeah, 1969 baby! To that end, Revell has released 4 kits for us to play with. In my opinion and in my experience, space stuff is not really covered because there's really not a lot of space stuff out there. There is some sci-fi stuff like, Star Trek and Star Wars, but regular space stuff, not so much. And this video is also a fulfillment of the promise that I made in the previous video on the channel update that I will be doing this one today. So like I've mentioned, today we have 4 kits to review. There's 4. To give you a quick summary. 2 kits are in 1/96 scale, one is 1/48 scale, and one is 1/32 scale. I believe that 3 out of 4 kits are relatively older kits, kind of reboxed. Only the 1/48 scale one is actually all new. Like we've been expecting from Revell, when they do rebox versions of their older kits, they tend not to be that great. And the leveling system on Revell boxes in this particular instance is a little bit misleading. Although yes, bigger kits are usually more difficult to put together. Well, difficult. It's very relative. If you're very skilled, then it's not difficult. But if you're not skilled, then it is difficult. But in this case, I believe that all these 4 kits can be tackled even with an intermediate person who just is kind of getting the hang of this hobby. Although I would not recommend the kits for a beginner. Because we have a lot of boxes to cover, I think it's only time to jump on in.
Behold. Holy crap, these boxes are tall. Look at that. I'll just pan up a little bit so you can see the whole thing. Oh, look at that. Saturn V. Oh my lord. It's really tall. Oh, yes. So, like I've promised, these are the kits that we're going to be reviewing today. These 4 boxes. I do believe that a lot of them, actually 3 out of 4 boxes, are just reboxed versions of the older kits. So what horrors lay inside we shall see. I believe that this little Apollo 11 Lunar module and Eagle lander are the new tool versions, and they include some paint. Anyway, so let's just start with the smallest box, and then we will go from smallest to the biggest to finally to the Apollo 11 rocket. Alrighty then. The first thing that we're gonna take a look at is this Apollo 11 Columbia and Eagle lander, which is a 1/96 scale model with 60 parts, and it's around it's exactly 18 centimeters tall. It is a 10 plus age thing, so if you're a little baby boy, you cannot build this. And you get some glue and some paints, and it costs 20 euros here in Slovenia, but you can get it like for 17 or something like that. It's a level 3, which means anybody can tackle this one. On the back side, you can see the picture of the lunar lander with the Eagle module, and on the base, and a little astronaut. But yeah. Let's take a look inside. Okay, so when you open up the box, this is what you get inside. So you get the paints, basic paints for the exterior. You get the parts, one small bag of parts. You get this little, very delicate foil. This is for the lander, so you can dress the lander in this little metallic gold foil. You get some decals. Take a look at the decals first because they're really small. These are the decals that you get with this little kit. Basically just flags, nothing really that special. And you also get this. This is just a clear PVC window for the module. Obviously you get the instructions, and let's take a look at the bag. Okay, when you open this bag up, you get 5 screws, all of which are not that impressive to look at, to be honest. I've seen much better. Let us take a look at the sprues individually. You can see the lunar lander is pretty crappy, especially on the edges. It's not particularly great. You get the 3 astronauts. One of them must be Buzz, the other one Neil, and the third one, oh, I don't know. I forgot. Sorry, astronauts. Anyway, these are the parts. Then we got this little thing, little swoopy holder. You see the little thing that you have to fix here, the ejection pin mark. You got the ladder here, and we got some struts for the lander. Then we got the base for the lander. And this is basically the thing that you wrap around with a foil. So you can see the little detail here. It's not that great. See this horror. Yeah, it's typical Revell. It's just reboxed. What a shame. And this is the capsule. The capsule that was waiting for the guys upstairs, up in orbit of the Lunar. Look at that. It's pretty, well, the plastic is like pretty glossy. Not high quality plastic, but this kind of thing's kind of, you know, these things really just suck. Hopefully it doesn't have any fit issues, but if you guys built this in the past, do let me know down in the comments below how the thing goes together. And the last thing, of course, is this little base on which you plant your creation afterwards. A little crater here. And a little slot where this little thing goes, so you plop this right here. And some other smaller pieces like boosters here. Yeah, that's basically it. As per the instructions, they have revamped, as you can see, the instructions. They are not black and white, they're a newer version, the colored one, which is pretty good. I like it. And then we have, of course, the assembly instructions here, which you can see the layout of all the sprues and all the bits inside the box. Like I said, you get the foil, you get the clear part, you get the sprues, and the decals. Here you can see actually how you build this little capsule. And then, of course, the lunar lander and the orbiting thing. Oh, you have to scrunch it up. Look at that, you have to scrunch it up. See? So that's basically the manual. Hooray! Let's move to the next one. Alright, so this should be the more promising one. This is supposed to be the newer one. So this is just the lunar lander. It's a 1/48 scale model, which is pretty damn big. And you know, if you're 12 and plus old, you can build this one. So that's why they say it's more expensive. It's around 50 euros, at least here in Slovenia. But you can get a little less. But it goes for like 45 to 50, something like that. That's at least what I've been able to find online. So the box is new box, of course, black and silver, with the back side showing you the model itself and all the goodness that Revell has to offer. It's a level 4, hence the 12 plus. It has 57 parts. Oh, sorry, 75, 57, 75. Here, yeah, look at that. And it's 14 centimeters tall. Let us open the box and see the contents. Upon opening the box, this is what you get. So you get the basic outside paint, acrylic paint, and some glue with a little brush. You get the decals. Take you close to see the decals first. You got just the United States and all that. You get the manual, and of course you get the parts, which are in this bag, and then separated in individual bags inside. So oddly enough, you don't get the foil. Here you do not get the foil, but I'm guessing because this is a 48 scale model, it's much more detailed. So let's take a look. And just so you know, this is made in China, so warning: to avoid danger or suffocation, keep this bag away from babies and children. So for God's sakes, guys, don't put this on your baby's head. Okay, so right off the bat, I can tell you that this is a much better kit than the previous one. The plastic is nice and firm, it feels quality, and it has lots of detail without any of the crap that you saw on the previous one. See, this is the pattern where you have to, you know, paint it in the gold color, because this is supposed to be like all foiled and stuff, and it's pretty awesome. Look at that, that's really good. It looks like a little volcano. Here we have other small pieces, and this is just the kind of detail that I want to show you guys. Plastic is nice, and it feels a little thin, but it's really nice. Look at that. All little boosters and nozzles are clearly marked and seen, and all the detail is pretty cool. Look at that. Even the smaller pieces are pretty fine. Little antennas on the side, and then we have the exhaust here for the motor. But these are all cool things to see. This is another one which is pretty cool. This is a really thick base. This thing, and this thing, these are really thick. Also, the walls of the lunar lander are really thick and very nicely detailed. You see all the little rivets, panels. They're nice and sharp. There's no flash. The attachment points are a little short, to be honest with you. I mean, at least for my liking, but they will do. That will do. This is actually the biggest piece of the sprues. We have double of each, so I'll just show you one. So this is supports and struts, and even on these little support struts, you can see this is not crappy molds. This is supposed to be foil. That's why it's so scrunched up. The little ladder. It's a little crooked, but it's okay. I'm guessing it's supposed to be a little crooked. And the lunar their legs, again, they are not, they're basically like this because of the effect of the foil. It's not a plastic defect. So you get two of these, and you also get two of these, identical. You get more foiled up parts. See, look at this, look at this. Very nice. It looks really gruesome if you if I show it like this very up close, but it's not that bad. I mean, it's supposed to be like this. It's not a mistake. There's a little flash, but it's here, which doesn't matter. The plastic itself is really good. Really good. This is the sprue where basically this is the compartment that you build around the sides of the lunar lander. Pretty good. Plastic is nice and firm and pretty smooth. There's no texture. The attachment points are they're good on some parts like here, but they're not very good here, like on this little edges. So some refining should be made on Revell's part, on like here. See, this is not really good, but it's okay. This is the manual, and let's take a look at this one as well. It's a little colored manual with a breakdown of all the sprues. This is supposed to be somewhere else. Like I said, there's no foil here, but you see the parts clearly laid out. It's not that many parts, to be honest, and you can see some of them are like blanked out, so they're not supposed to be used. But anyway, this is the assembly portion of the review, so you can see clearly marked how it goes together and where it's supposed to be glued and painted. And this is basically how it goes. It's a nice representation. I think they just remastered the old instructions. Of course, the paint scheme. On to the next one. Here we have a 1/32nd scale model kit, Apollo 11 spacecraft with interior. Alrighty! 83 parts, 32.4 centimeters long, and if you're not 13 plus, this is not for you. But this is like their Revell's level 5, which, well, in all honesty, I don't know why it's level 5, because, you know, 83 parts is not that much, but then again, the parts are fairly big. As far as the pricing is concerned, this one goes around for 50 euros. You can get it for a couple of euros less, more or less, depending on where you live. The box is, of course, their new style. It's, I think, just a reboxed version of their older model, so... Oh, good lord, I hope it's not crappy. Let's take a look, shall we? Upon opening the box, you can see there's a lot of stuff inside, but it's also very big. So you got one big bag that contains every single piece, and they're pretty big. And just looking at it from this angle, oh, thank God it's not crappy. It actually looks very good. So let's open the bag and see the contents in close-up. We have 3 bags of screws, and this is the first bag, which contains the well, the body, the structure body, and the plastic is thick, heavy. It's really good quality. Well, it's good quality. The attachment points are still a little bit crappy. They're very close to the actual model, so you have to be careful once you're gonna cut this out, especially here. Look at that, on the little what's this, a vent or something. You're probably gonna have to sand a little bit, but okay, it's not that terrible. Of course, this is a full interior model, which means that you get some clear parts. You basically just plop it in, and you can see all the stuff inside, so the dust doesn't go in. And then you have the nose cone of the little module. There's nice detail on here. You can see the reflection of the light shows it pretty nicely. Again, the attachment points are not that great. Look at that here, see, and here, but you know, it's okay. From what we've seen from the first kit, this is really good. Again, this is really hefty, very thick plastic. You see all the little wire and harnesses and tubes and stuff, and a little detail on the surface. It's raised detail. It's all raised detail. Okay, so we have the second bag here, and this is a bag inside a bag. Here are the clear parts. You can, as I told you previously, you can peek inside, so you know, because you have all the stuff that you build for the interior, it would be a shame to cover it up, so they give you this clear part, and it's pretty clear. I'm not gonna take it out from this protective bag because you can see it very clearly now. It's still detailed, it's surface detail just like on the other plastic, and it's really clear. Even from this distance, you can see the text below through, you know, the plastic and the bag, the clear bag. So good stuff. Okay, so here we are, the interior pieces. Basically, I think they're just canisters for O2 for the fuel, and the exhaust here. It's nicely detailed, surface texture, all super soft. And we got basically just, you know, big pieces. And then of course we have the seats along with the astronauts. Look at them, everyone in their different pose, and they're pretty nicely detailed as well. It would be cool if you could have a kind of clear visor, or one of them would have like a visor open. And you have the seats, which they are sitting on. And even the most smaller detail is really good. There's no flash. I mean, it's really good. Really good stuff. For an older model, this is really good. But again, the attachment points are not that great. Look at that. They're not great. And then we have another bag inside of bag. These are some exterior pieces again. I'm not gonna take it out because it's really not that impressive to look at. It. There's just a bunch of stuff that goes on the outside of the capsule. So we got another bag left, so let's take a look at that. Here we have the most important thing, the alignment pin. Oh yeah, baby. And we got some exterior pieces here on a big bag. It's just a piece of white plastic. It's not that great to watch. And we got some more plastic. Here we have a bunch of stuff here again. I don't know what those things are, to be honest. I've never really thought about it that much, but here they are. You can take a look at them. Again, the plastic is nice and thick, firm. The attachment points, as just like on the previous, are a little bit worse here on certain parts, but the detail is not bad. Look at those, even those little, I think these are like the thrust nozzles. Oh, come on, focus. Come on, man. Stupid camera. Okay, so, oh, I just hope you can see. See, it's not bad. Not bad at all. And we got the, wow, the thing, the surface bulkhead or something or some sort. Yeah, that's basically it. Plastic, all plastic. Let's take a look at the manual. Before we go to the manual, this is what you get inside. Of course, you get the glue, the paint, which is not a lot of paint. If you're gonna be painting this the old-fashioned way with a brush, first of all, don't use this brush because, you know, it's not that big. And the person who's actually gonna paint this model, particular model, with this brush deserves an award for persistence. But this paint is just enough to cover certain parts of the model. It's not that much. I mean, it's an acrylic paint, so you can thin it out, paint it, okay? And of course you got the all important decals, which in this instant look very 90s. I mean, I know it's 1960 technology, but it's basically just green, yellow, and red dots, circles, and squares, and rectangles. It's kind of boring, to be honest. I mean, I thought they would put a little bit more effort into this. I mean, of course, the American flag is the most appealing to watch, but, you know, everything else looks very, like, somebody just kind of went into paint and started drawing some circles and squares and then colored them in and then pressed print and voila. But the quality of the decal it's good. It's not bad. It's just that the representation of the instruments is kind of boring. But it is what it is. So let's see the manual. Okay, so the manual. Whew, look at that. Just realized, see the white thing that I didn't know? That's just basically the stand. And here you can see how it looks. So you got the clear part, you know, you can see inside, you can see the little astronauts, little antennas thing. Pretty cool, okay, it's pretty good. Okay, the manual opens up. What a shocker. Basic stuff, the breakdown of screws, and then of course the assembly portion, clearly in simply defined. I think that's not supposed to be very difficult to follow, especially if you're like a Lego builder. This is just right up your alley. So pretty nice, isn't it? See the two, those are the stand. You see the white thing that we saw? Those are the stands. Oh, look at that. And little boosters. And that's it. Let's take a look at the rocket. Okay, this is gonna be difficult. It's really long. Look at that, it's really long. Yeah, I know I'm exaggerating, but it's really long, so I'm kind of having trouble putting everything into the perspective here. But it's 114 centimeters long, well, tall actually. You get, of course, some paint and the brush, which is basically useless, well, like we've just established. It has 183 parts, and it's a 169, well, not 169, it's 196th scale model. It's a level 5, and it costs $100, 100 euros, more or less. Okay, so it's a big box. Oh, let me see on the side. So you get the little picture of the thing. You see how it looks, so you can see the things inside. I'm guessing it has some clear parts as well, because, you know, you can see the little lunar lander here. Yeah, let's just open this baby up. So the way it opens up, it's like this, and you can see all the contents inside. I mean, to be honest, they could have just kind of put a smaller box, but they wanted to exaggerate how big this is. And since this is upright, look at that. I got some signs here. The manual is totally crushed. I hope the decals are not cracked up. Okay, so let's take a look, shall we? So these are the things that you get inside. And funny enough, Here is the little kit that we just saw, the first kit that we reviewed, the Apollo 11, Columbia, and Eagle. So we're not gonna take a look at this because it's basically the same stuff. Of course, you get the huge base onto which to pop your rocket. And of course, you get the rocket bits. Look at that. They're huge. They're like big noodle containers. Yeah, the decals are fine. And you get some clear parts so you can see the inside of the capsule. So let's take them off the bags and show you guys. Alright, so we got 1, 2, 3, 4 screws and something just came off. Okay, that's supposed to be attached. I'm gonna have to put it back. Okay, so yeah, look at that. The engines. The huge engines that propels this craft to infinity and beyond. The plastic, of course, you can see is white. It has very small attachment points like we're used to, but a close inspection sees that there is quality present, as well as the feel of the plastic is pretty good. Oh, come on, another piece. Okay, so you have to be careful. See, just another one kind of fell off again. Darn it. But that's basically because of the packaging, I'm guessing. But the detail on it, it's really good. Come on, focus. See, the engine has detail, along with all the pipes. And we have another one. They look like missiles, but they're not. The attachment points here again, look at that. This is not good. See how close this is? I mean, from the other side, yeah, it's not that great. But the detail and the overall quality of the mold is good. Acceptable, very acceptable. I'm guessing this is the bottom portion where the motors, the engine attached to, because you know, there are holes and stuff. But we'll have to take a look at the manual to confirm my suspicions. Ugh. Sorry for the little wobble, but I can't help it. So this is, yeah, this is the top portion, yeah, the nose. And we got some rocket pins. And this one is really heavy. This is thick plastic. This is really thick plastic and heavy. So, but I guess it has to be because it's I think those are the supports. Yeah. Nice white plastic. Okay, here is the noodle container. I'm not gonna take them all out because they're basically just the same. I mean, they're just big hollow. Well, this one is not hollow. But I know you get the idea. You just stack them one on top of the other. They're thick plastic. They have nice texture. It's nice. It looks like yeah, it's just like one of those takeaway noodle containers where you know eat noodles out of. But you got a lot of these inside. Look at that. There's a smaller one and there's a nose comb. So like something like this goes like here, and then something like this goes like here, and yeah, it's basically just a stackable piece. And I don't think it's particularly like level 5-ish model, to be honest. I mean, it's just a couple of big pieces that you could do glue together, and because the model is predominantly just white and black, and it's not that difficult to paint. But I digress. And then of course you have the clear part, which goes on top, where you can see inside where the lunar lander lives, and the rest I've just shown you. So what else? Is there something else in this little bag that I have to show again? No, I mean, there's basically just, yeah, I mean, look, it's just a big ass container. This is kind of bad. Okay, so this, and Oh, what the hell, just take it all out. Okay, so this is the top, I'm guessing, or the bottom, oh yeah, the top. This is where this stuff lives, or something like that. I mean, I'm guessing this goes on top of this. They're like alignment pins here, or holes or slots here, where you take individual steps, but we have to take a look at the manual, but yeah, okay. It's nicely textured.
It's good, it's groovy. It's very nice, very nice. Look at this, look at this.
This is not very nice. Look at how thick this is. Ah, come on, man. What happened here? This is not good at all. But yeah, let's take a look at the manual. So before we take a look at the manual, which is kind of crooked, all scrunched up, you get this little styrene sheets of styrene with letters on them. So you wrap it around the little rocket, and you get quite a lot of them actually. United States of America, and a little flag. I mean, this is kind of killing it, isn't it? I mean, look at that. You wrap it around the body, just like so. And these are the pins where you fix it onto the body, those little struts that we saw. So that's one thing that you get. And of course you get the decals, which are here. These are the small decals, much like the one on the first model. And some letters and stuff. They're quality decals, but they're not like wow. And this is the manual, which is, again, you know, sorry for the scrunchy manual, but let's take a look. Okay, so you have the breakdown of all the screws. See, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 screws, and then some other bits. And foil, which is where's the foil? Oh, it's inside this bag. Oh yeah, there it is on the bottom. Okay, so good. Okay, so we got everything. Okay, so how does it go together? God only knows. But as you can see, you start off with the base. You make the motors. You build the motors up. You probably don't need to paint them inside because it's gonna be on the bottom unless somebody intentionally looks up. You're not gonna need them, but this is how you put the signs here. You can see, and the motor and on the stand, as well as how you assemble the upper portion of this little rocket. The noodle containers go together very nicely, and yeah, this is basically just the procedure in which you have to follow strictly. And I'm guessing you don't have to glue them. Yeah, that's good, because you can kind of see how it goes all together, because you can see individual steps of the multi-stage rocket. But that's pretty nice. That's a nice touch. And this little lunar lander here in the nose. This part is, you've already seen this part because we've seen it in the first video, or in the first kit actually. And of course we get little clear parts. You can see it tucked inside. And of course you get the thing if you want to assemble it later on. And that's it. Oh, and if you want, oh, that's why it is, look at that, I didn't even notice this. So the box basically is a container for, oh, so that's what this is for. So inside you get these things. So these are the supports that support the whole model if you want to transport it. Oh, that's actually quite nice. So now we know the mystery of the box. Hooray! And with that, back to me.
Congratulations! You made it to one of my videos. You should be all proud. I would like to thank you so very much for watching. If you have been, thank you for liking, commenting, subscribing, ringing that bell icon, and I'll see you again soon in the next one. Bye bye.